Okay, so how this is going to work is I'm going to share my screen. And then I have the lab pulled up already. And I'm going to give you guys remote control. Let me see. Cool. And then you guys can go ahead and start coding. Okay? So the first person I'm going to give this to is Max.
Woo.
All right. It's all yours.
It's all mine. Can I get a readme or something?
Yeah.
Don't really know how this even begins.
Okay, no worries. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I'm going to take control back again.
Sure. Just go.
Cheat and open it on my screen too.
And let me do this. All right.
There we go.
So there's that, and then let me pull up my terminal.
Are you giving me the terminal just for like testing purposes?
Yes, the terminal is where you're going to run learn. So that
okay. That's my command line.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm still
that's
coding up here. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Got it.
Cool.
Okay. You guys don't mind if I move this over a little bit?
Hey,
not at all. Just
been,
however you would like.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's a little wonky. All right.
Cool.
All right. Let's see. Is that my first? No.
So do you want to run the test first and see what it's telling you?
Oh, I mean, yes, for sure.
Okay, let me pull up the terminal again.
Yeah.
That's
right.
better.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's another great way to find out what I need to do.
And do you guys know about the Learn Fail Fast feature?
Very briefly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Lets you, instead of running all the test examples and succeed fails, it just runs and finds the first one it fails on and stops.
Exactly, yeah. So it lets you just focus on like one test instead of all of them.
Oof. Okay, let's begin.
Cool. So what does number 1 say?
Badge maker should return a formatted badge. Conference badge maker. Badge. Hello, my name is name. Simple enough. I usually just let me get that back here. Copy and paste the messages.
Okay.
Just the spacing and the up until I need to actually do some coding.
Okay, cool.
Hello, my name is. Okay.
Awesome. And
whoa. See, and this is what I mean right here. That would have failed.
Those little punctuation marks, those will get you, huh?
They always do.
So the one thing about remote control is it doesn't let you save the file on your end. So just before you run the tests, let me save it for you.
Okay, cool.
Or else the test will still fail because it won't recognize your changes.
I see.
All right. So let's see if this works.
Yes, let's.
Aha. What's going
What have I done?
It's saying undefined method badge maker. Let's look at the way that badge maker is written. There we go.
That's exactly what I meant.
Oh, let me save it for you.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Sorry, guys. We're not even at the meet yet.
Perfect. It looks like it passed. Okay, cool. So why don't you walk us through really quick what you did in this method?
Sure. I knew they wanted me to make a method that returns a badge with anyone's name on it. So it should basically take the argument of a name. And then using string interpolation, I was able to stick that little hashtag with the squiggly brackets with the name. It'll accept any name now that we put into this badge maker method as an argument.
Perfect. All right. Who's next? And I'm going to just move that like that, and then this, oops, like that. So that way it's a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give remote control to Nissan.
Okay.
So if you click my screen, then you're going to have control of it. Perfect.
All right, great. So now the next error that we're getting is, whoops.
Oh, and let me show you guys the learn fail fast, because I think that'll like be really fun for you guys to do like tests.
To fail really fast.
It's learn.
Oh, should I be typing?
And then dash dash F. Yeah, you could spell it out, or you could do dash dash F dash F.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, dash dash F dash F?
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Shortcuts.
Now that's
Is it gonna, oh, nice. And now it's faster. Cool.
Okay, great. And then now it's easier to read instead of scrolling up like
Exactly. And that's why I love it.
Okay, great. So, hold on, I just need to move where I have the videos of everyone. Okay, oops. All right, so we need a conference badges. Should return a list of badge messages. Okay, fine. So first I'll just define the method that they want, which is going to be conference badges. And then we're going to just end it right away before we put any code in. And then it's going to want attendees. So I guess we're going to put in some attendees. And whoops, spelled that wrong. There we go. Okay, fine. So now it's unclear. Let's see. Oops, went too far up.
Let's go back and let's read that no method error.
No method, undefined method, badge creator for our spec. Okay.
Okay, and then if we look at our failure error right here.
Oh,
what
expect badge
the
creator.
Yeah.
Take equal badges. Okay.
So this is kind of hinting towards what the name of this method should actually be, because we can see that they're calling it.
Oh, okay.
Passing
I
it
see
the
that.
attendees.
Yes, 100%. Plus the hashtag and the. Okay, so let's just correct that quickly. Badge creator.
Perfect.
Great. Perfection. Okay. But we don't know from the failure yet exactly what it's supposed to be doing, or do we?
Well, right now it's just saying that this method isn't defined.
Okay, so now that we defined it, we can probably rerun the test and see
the
next error message. Okay, great.
Let me just save it really quick.
Oh, sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, great. So now let's do learn. Fail fast. Great. Oop, okay, expect to say hello. My name is blank. My name is blank. Got nil. Okay. So, let's see. We're going to do hello. My name is, and then we're going to do hashtag curly brackets attendees. Oops. Curly bracket, and then the little period over there. Perfect. All right. And that should, oh, wait 1 second.
What
Okay.
kind of data type is it expecting?
It's expecting. Is it an array that it's expecting?
It is an array.
Okay, great. Which
So what does that
means
kind of tell us about attendees? And we can look at the spec file too. I love reading spec files. So this might be helpful for us to see what's being passed into this method. So like if we go here and we look at this, what's being passed into our method?
a name,
Okay. But
a string is being passed through.
it's a string, right? It's a
Okay.
string element inside of what?
String element inside of a variable. No, I mean an array. Sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. So attendees is an array, right?
Gotcha. So we're gonna have to iterate over the array so it prints out, hello, my name is yada yada yada.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's okay. So backtrack. So we'll save this because it's not totally wrong. It just has to be there. Attendees that each do. We'll put that on the next line. We'll put pipes, 2 pipes, and then we'll put name. Let's just do names just for it to be a slightly different. Names in there. Then we'll make sure to end. Oh, oops. And then, hello, my name is blank. Perfect. Now, the only thing is that it's going to, we need it to return an adjusted array. So we may want to do, oops, like a dot map.
Okay.
That way it'll save the hello, my name is blank.
Right. It'll return your modified array, leaving the original array as is, but returning a new array with modified elements. Perfect.
Correct.
If you wanted to use the each method, you could do that too. You would have to create an empty array and then shovel your modified elements into that empty array and return the new array. So yeah, so map does it a little bit in a cleaner way, and I like using map too, so great job. Cool. Let's see what our tests say.
Great.
And I saved it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Great, learn, oops, F. Okay.
Awesome. Good
So we got it
work.
passing. Awesome.
Good catch on iterating and good use of map. Does this make sense to everyone so far? Any questions up to this point? All right. Cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and give the remote control to Ryan. And there you go. All yours.
Whoa, that's weird. Oh. All right then. So let's scroll up here and see what the next failure was. Conference badges is our program, and the assigned rooms is a method. Should return a list of welcome messages and room assignments. Okay. So we need a method that takes in attendees, and let's just start with that. So define assign rooms, takes in attendees, and I'm gonna make sure we close that out. So Asan, if you could save it, so I'll see what comes up next.
There we go.
Try that.
So it's --f--f.
Oh, oops.
And then no space. Yeah, no space.
I was wondering why it wasn't running in my IDE. Okay, so expected array A to be returned, and it will have the name and the room number.
Okay.
So it looks like we have to do the same thing where we will iterate over an array that comes from attendees and return a modified array. Oh, where'd all the other... there we go, cheat sheets. So let me see if I can use Nissan's answers. Attendees.map do for names, and we want to iterate over hello, and then hashtag names. Oh man, so many things going on at the same time. Exclamation will be assigned to room, and then we need a number. I wonder if I can get the number of the do here. Does anyone have a suggestion as to how to get the number of the do or the map? Because I am not aware.
Yeah, does anybody have a suggestion for Ryan?
I think we should probably use the index of the array. The only problem with using the index of the array is that it starts from 0. So now we're going to have to add.
I don't know if that will work.
Okay.
+1.
Where does index? Where is index coming from?
The position within the array.
Okay, it is the position of the array, right? But do we have, within this method, do we have index defined?
No.
So if we, let's save this and go ahead and run learn. Let's see what we got. Undefined local variable or method index. So it's like, hey, I don't know what index is, right? Because it's not defined anywhere. Are you guys familiar with the each with index method? And it's okay if you're not. So let's go ahead and let's Google that, because I think that will be helpful. So the each with index, a new enumerator is returned that includes the index, right? So you can call it on an array here. And then once you call it, it gives you it gives you like a block variable that you can use, and you can call it index. And then now that's going to be a counter. And every time it iterates, it's going to increment that index. So it's going to start at 0, and then the second time it loops around, it's going to go to 1, 2, right? But it defines index for us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let me see if I can find like a better explanation. So here it says, you know, it's the same as with index. So it takes an optional parameter to offset the starting index. So it just basically gives your array the index number. I don't know if that makes sense. Let's see if we can find something a little bit. Here, Ruby docs. I love Ruby docs. I think they explain it a little bit easier. So calls block with 2 arguments. So then now we're given 2 arguments. The item, so the elements, and its index. So it's going to iterate the first time. This is going to be cat. Our element is going to be cat. Our index is going to be 0. Then when it goes to the second element, our element is going to be dog, and our index is going to be 1. So it basically gives your elements that index number. So here, we're going to want to use that method. Anybody want to take it? Or Ryan, why don't you take a jab at it?
So each with index, and then
Perfect.
since now index is defined, or should be, index plus 1 should give the correct room number. I think.
Yeah, but don't forget on line 12, it gives us 2 block arguments. So
names and oops.
Perfect. Now index is defined. Let me go ahead and close that really quick. All right, cool. Anybody have any input? Should we run learn and see what we get?
Am I missing anything? I mean, let's try it.
Yeah,
Okay,
wait.
We'll see what happens.
Oops,
Go for
let me just save it really quick. Okay, go for it.
There goes nothing.
It's the same thing that I
Oh.
did.
So it's getting back
Oh.
our original array.
We did not map it to a new array.
All right. Yeah, each with index, it still works like each. So it'll still return your original array. How can we get it to return a new array with our modified elements?
All right, guys, vote time. We could create a blank array and double into that, or
Yeah.
a hidden method I'm not aware of.
Yeah, we can do that. I don't think that we can map over it since we're iterating with the each with index. So I think creating a new array and shoveling it is the right way to go.
Yeah, I don't think that is right. Return array shovel. Wait. Can I cut? Can I? Oh, I don't know if I can cut this.
I think you'll have to do it like the manual way of right.
Oh well.
I know Zoom is so weird when you remote control.
It's good to know.
Cool.
That should work if I return the return array.
All right. Let's see what our tests say.
So many ways to do the same thing.
I know, huh? That's why they say, like, there's no wrong way of doing something.
Dang it.
Okay, we're getting closer. Cool. So what's the difference between our expected and our got?
Oh, there's an exclamation point.
Good catch.
That's so minute.
I know, it's so easy to miss that one.
Okay, so if we save this. And
Woohoo!
hooray.
Good work. Do you guys understand the each with index?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. It's basically, it extracts the elements index so that you can use it.
When I did this lab, back when I did it, in a Google search, I found map with index. So I didn't need to create that blank array. And then I was able to, map with index is actually a thing you can do.
That is pretty cool. I didn't know that. Can we Google that really quick?
Sure.
Let's check it out. I wonder if it'll be here in the Ruby docs.
I don't know.
Map is here. We can Google it. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that that exists.
I found it by accident, and when I was talking, yeah. Oh, that's different syntax than I even wrote it with.
Oh, but this is interesting because it looks like you can actually call map on the each with index method. Oh, learning new things here.
I even did it a different way. I honestly just wrote map dot with underscore index, and
Okay. Okay, so you're using the mapping method and the with index method. Okay, cool. Do you want to show us how you did it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, sure.
Let me comment this out just so that we have it. But I love seeing multiple ways to do one method. So cool.
I think
All
I did
right.
it the same way, but let's
Did
see.
you?
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see it.
All right, I got,
Oh, let me give you remote control. All right. Good work, Ryan, by the way.
Whoa.
You did really well.
okay, so basically it's just essentially the same thing. The attendees dot map dot with index. Is it names? No. Squiggly. I see. Okay. And then the same thing. Is it gonna let me copy it, or is it gonna be mean to me?
I think it's gonna be mean to you.
Don't let it be mean. Haha.
Ah!
Nice.
It likes me. What can I say? That should be it. I mean,
Let's see if the tests pass.
yeah. I'm like my little syntax. Oh, sorry, I didn't do the good learn.
That's okay. Oh, it did pass.
Yeah. See.
Cool.
Cool.
Aha.
Awesome. So now we have two ways that we could do it. One's you know, it's correct. It takes a couple more lines of code, whereas the other one is kind of nice and clean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thanks for showing us that.
Don't mention it.
Great. So it looks like we have the next method, printer. And since Max, since you're already remote controlling, why don't you do the first part of that method?
Sure. All right. So let's just see. Just want to see what it does so I know what argument to give it. There it is. Okay. Oh. Let go. I already forgot what it was. Attendees. All right. So what do we want it to do? Print should puts the list of badges and room assignments. Okay. So basically, it looks like we just want to invoke, if I'm using that word correctly, the methods that we just did. Oh, no, don't do that.
Okay. And yeah, that is the right term.
Beautiful.
Good job.
Good. Yeah. English and program. Love it.
Very nice.
But we want to do it over all of them. So we're going to have to iterate over all of our attendees, maybe. So 1 second, get my terminal back here. The list of badges and room assignments. Okay.
And don't forget, you can always look at the spec file too, because the spec file will give you clues.
I feel like it'll just confuse me more. All right, so let's just do that. Or no. Now I'm confused. I know that makes sense. Trying to remember how I even did it in the first place.
So when you use the curly braces, you don't need the do keyword.
Yes. I'm just testing you.
Cool.
All right, so we want it to put to the list of badges and room assignments. We want it to loop through both of these methods till we call them for all the names. I'm drawing a blank, but it's right there.
Should puts the list of badges. So we know our badges badge creator, that returns what type of data type again?
That's going to give us an array.
Okay. An array of, people's badges, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
when we iterate over it, then what we're doing is we're isolating each one of those badge. And so we're just going to put that out.
I see. Oh, okay. So that's all we need to do here, firstly.
Well, we do need to iterate over it, right? Because it returns an array. And so in order to access each element in that array, we're going to need to iterate and loop through it.
Okay. So I was right in the beginning?
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Okay. Each. And I just called it an ID. Does that make sense? And then I just remember doing like a puts ID because we just wanted to print it.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. See, there's a lot of overthinking that goes into every single session of this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what that says with our tests. So I think I saved it. Oops. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me.
I'll wait for you to be sure. --F.
And just go ahead and hit enter.
Oh, it's stuck down there.
Wow.
Got it.
Interesting. So it's saying wrong number of arguments on line 5 and line 23. What do we have on line 23? We're calling that method. Anybody want to chime in why we're getting a wrong number of arguments here?
Should I be using name?
No. Okay. Whenever you invoke another method inside of a method, if it has an argument, we're going to need to carry that argument over.
I see. So then I should be doing attendees down here.
Perfect. Yep.
Oop.
All right.
Okay. Let's try that again. Gotta be a space there. Okay.
Nice work. It looks like it passed that first part where it's putting out the badges. Now it wants the ones with the room assignments. Okay, cool. I'm going to pass it off to Nissan now and see what Nissan comes up with. Good job, Max, by the way.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you're doing this all on one line. It's so nice and clean. And are you guys, so like, you guys know the syntax for iterating, right? If you use the curly braces, you don't need the do in the end. These
If it's
curly
on one line, right?
Yeah. Cool. All right, Nissan, it's all yours.
Great. Okay, so the next failure is that we're gonna have to print the badge. Let's see here. Okay, the room assignments. Okay, great. So just get a little hint. I'll look at the type file. Go down to, whoops, too far. Room assignment. Okay. Doesn't really help much, but let's just try it. Okay, perfect. So, following the lead. So we have assign rooms, fine. So in this array, we already have the room assignments. So I guess all we have to do is assign room. Then we'll keep that attendees there. And then we can do room. And then we can do room. And then that should print our room assignments. Okay. So basically, we're taking the method that we have, the assign rooms method.
Okay.
It takes in an argument, so we have to pass in that argument. And then we're using the each iterator. So each time it's going to go through that assign room method, which actually gave to us an array of the person's name and their room assignments. And then we're going to return, oh, you're assigned to X room. And we pass it through using the room. I think.
Okay, let me save it really quick.
Okay, cool.
All yours.
Perfect. So let's go to learn Belfast. Let's see here.
Interesting. Undefined method assign room.
Ah, there's an S in assign rooms. Okay.
Let's see what that does to our tests.
Perfect. Oh, okay.
So now it's saying it expected it to receive a puts. So if we look at that failure, it wants us to puts it.
Okay. Gotcha. Perfect. Puts.
All right.
Great. Great. And there we go. Yay.
Good job, you guys. How do you guys feel about this lab?
Better.
Great.
Does it all make sense, you know, the methods that we're using and what we're doing in each method in order to return the expected values?
I just had a question for the syntax. Like, I understand what's going on, but I can't put it into words.
Okay.
In like the line 23, each time we go through, we're creating we're generating an ID or something that comes back each time we iterate over something, and then we puts that out. we're just making up some random name that makes sense, right?
Are you talking about like the variable assignment?
Right, the way that that's this syntax is just new to me. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Yeah, so like everything, any variable inside of your blocks, they're arbitrary, meaning that you can name it whatever you would like. So like I could name this element because we're dealing with each element, and then that'll still work. So what's in here is arbitrary. As far as the curly brace syntax, so what these stand for, this is like the do and this is the end. So this would be the same thing as
And what are the pipes?
the pipes is your block variable. So every time you iterate over an array, you're going to be dealing with each element. And so here we're defining our block variable to basically stand for each one of those elements.
Gotcha. Oh, cool.
And have you guys messed around with pry at all? Because like what we can do is we can, since we have a couple minutes, we can go ahead and see our values here. So let me just comment this. Oops. And then so if I throw a binding dot pry here, it's my binding dot pry is going to stop where inside of that loop. And so now if I check the value of this, just to see what it returns, you'll see that it returns an array of the badges that we created, right? And so when we iterate over it with the each, and we say, hey, this variable is going to represent each element, let's see what that returns. So that's going to return the first element. And if we exit our pry and run it again, that's going to return the second element, because each time it loops, this element is going to represent your elements in the array.
Cool.
Make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that was a good session. Do you guys have any other questions?
I do, but it's about the sorting lab.
The sorting lab? Okay.
Yeah, it's just one part of that. Quickly, so one of the methods they ask you to write is the Kesha maker.
Okay.
And in the Kesha maker, it says build a method that called the Kesha maker that takes an array of strings, replaces the third character in each string with a $sign, Kesha style. Use the each method to iterate and build a new array to return at the end of your method, just like we did in the my each lab. So when they want you to make this empty array and then, populate it with this new Kesha style stuff. But the test would pass if I didn't do that. Like it would make its own array. And then if I tried to do the method with the empty array and then, shoveling all the new elements into this new array, it gave me a double bracketed array.
Oh, so a nested array.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share your screen with us so we can look at it? I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay. And I will begin sharing.
Perfect.
So you guys see this now?
Yeah.
Okay. So here, the Kesha maker. this is what is letting it pass. But okay, so let's say I called it Array for the Kesha array. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe my syntax is just messed up. No, I can't see. And then I just called it again. And now when I do it, you see?
Yeah, so it's adding your array into an array. What if you shovel the string 2 equals $sign into array instead?
Aha. That's good to know. Nope. What's wrong?
Oh, now it's just
$signs. Could it be because if I get rid of the new array and everything, it passes, which is weird because if they wanted me to do it with an empty array and do it, the way we're seeing it now, it should fail. So let's say I got rid of this, I got rid of that, got rid of that. Could have commented it out, but sometimes I'm not smart. See, now I get all passes.
Okay. Can we look at the spec file really quick?
Yes.
Kesha
maker.
Okay. So it says do not use collector map, use each to build a new array. Taking an array as an input, change the third character. Interesting. So then let me look at your method again. So your array, you're iterating and then taking each element, and then in each element, you are changing the third character to a $sign.
Mm-hmm. It's almost as if each is like acting like a map or a collect.
Right. Anybody have any input? I guess like our thing is we just need to figure out how to initiate a new array and then add our modified elements into that new array.
So I started by making an empty array. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Let's call it Kesha this time for simplicity's sake. So there we have our empty array. Now, no, that makes sense.
Okay.
And now we want to get all these stuffs into my new array. So
what if you just set Kesha equal to array.each, and then that way the value of Kesha will be your manipulated items. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So instead of like shoveling them all, I just do that.
Yeah. And then you can probably get rid of line 19 too, because we don't need that.
Interesting. Let's try it. Yeah, it worked.
Cool. Yeah, because the array.each will return Well, it won't really return because it returns the original value, but it'll give you that capability of manipulating. And then when you say Kesha equals, then now what you're doing is you're storing the value of your manipulated elements into that variable.
Right.
Makes sense?
Yeah. And I guess when I read the test, it's not, specifically telling me return an array with all this stuff. It's kind of just saying, do it. It's only in the actual README that it's saying, do it like that. So let me get down there. Move this. So build a Kesha maker that takes in an array of strings and replaces the third character in each string, blah, 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 blah. Then at that bottom line, use the each method to iterate and build a new array to return at the end of your method, just like we did in the my each lab. So that's what prompted me to do the empty array and the shoveling into.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird.
That
There's
is
like a disconnect.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically you are creating a new array because now like your original array is still original. We haven't modified that. So array is still the same. But like what you've done is you've created the Kesha, which is going to return an array of those modified elements.
Right. But it was weird. Even if I didn't have the Kesha equals, like if I left the Kesha equals out, no Kesha at all, just the array dot each, the test is worded in such a way that it's just like, as long as I'm doing something to these elements, not returning a new array, it's still passing.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely cost me. I mean, most of my stress from this one method was changing the character and the string, because they, like, all my Google searches just pointed me to the regex stuff that I didn't even get to yet, and it was so confusing. And then I was screwing around in my IRB, and that's how I figured out that I could just do the string and point to the index of the string itself,
which is a perfect workaround, right?
Yeah. Is that what's intended?
Yeah, I think
Awesome.
so. Cool.
Yeah, I know. Like the sum array, that's a Google search. I was Googling how to switch an array to like integers or fixed numbers, and I got literally nothing. And then I searched sum array, and I found these beautiful operators that do it all for me. So that's really sweet.
I love Google.
Yeah, Google is the best. Google is the best.
Awesome.
This bottom one I know is yeah. I'm hogging the time. You guys should probably have concerns. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Continue.
I was just gonna say the bottom one I did. That's like pure. I know there's a cleaner, better way to do this, but I don't know it, so I'm gonna do my dirty way and hopefully learn a better way at some point.
The cool thing is, like, once you figure out, certain concepts and methods, you can always come back and refactor your code too, so that way you have like, your new methods that you've learned and cleaner code possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Great. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up?
I'll stop sharing my screen with you guys. No offense. If I remember how.
All right, you guys. Well, that was a really cool debugging session. Thank you so much for coming to the study group. I am going to post this recording once it loads on the Slack channel, just in case you guys want to go over it again. But yeah, cool. I'll see you guys at the next study group then.
Cool. I have no idea to unshare my screen, so this is what you guys get to see until we're done.
Cool. All right, you guys have a great evening.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.